Now, in Nigerian news, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered the deployment of armed personnel to safeguard the Abuja-Kaduna rail service, which resumes today. The force spokesperson, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in a statement released on Sunday, said the Nigeria Police Force has been in regular talks with the Nigerian Railway Corporation and other security agencies in preparation for the commencement of operations. He quoted the IGP as saying that all hands are on deck to fortify the railway services along the route and other rail lines across the country. Well, joining us to discuss this development and that event that led to the closure of the service is Arise analyst Kayode Otitoju. Good day to you and welcome to Newsday.
Good day, Cynthia.
All right, now let's get straight into it. Commendable efforts have been made, and of course we have to give praise to the attention that has been given to this particular route. However, last week I remember reading about drones being introduced on the Ibadan Expressway, and I wonder whether we could have benefited from the introduction of technology on the Abuja-Kaduna railway line.
Yes, the line was closed, after the attack of March 28th this year. And for over 2 to 9 days, the Abuja-Kaduna rail had not operated. And that's a loss of over 5 billion naira for that period of time, because the Abuja-Kaduna per trip, carries about between 900 and 1,000 passengers. And the economy passengers pay between 2,800 and 3,000, while the VIPs passengers pay 6,000 flat. So, and the trip per day is about eight trips per day. So, at 24 million naira per day, okay? That's about 5.49 billion for the period of 2 to 9 days that is already lost, which is about 8 months plus. So with that, I don't think government can just allow things to remain like that. More so that what led to the closure of that route was security. So, and that is why, the people in charge of security are now working in tandem with the NRC to see that actually the route reopens. Almost 1,000 passenger times 8, that's about 8,000 passengers per day are moved by train alone within that corridor. And that translates to, at 1,000 passengers per trip, if you divide it by luxurious buses of maybe 50 to 60 passengers, it means that actually you are taking close to 20 buses off the road by using rail. Okay? But in terms of the space that the buses will occupy and the risk on the road. So rail is very important. And in terms of even the charges, the fare, is more reasonable for long route. Okay, so drones, yes, you can deploy drones, but security is still more of what happens to the routes itself. Is the route smooth? Is it swept so that there is nothing, hanging on the route? The passenger, are they well checked before they enter? Okay, now I think they want to start using name, then identification, and your phone number before they sell ticket to you. All these are very preemptive and knowing your passenger. Then the coaches must be well, combed, inspected, and make sure that there is nothing foreign is hanging anywhere, like bomb and whatever. So it involves the route, the passenger, the coaches, that's the rolling stock itself, and the environment too. And that's why there should be surveillance, at designated points, which I think the Nigerian Railways police command should be able to do, because they have a whole command headed by a commissioner. Okay? So with this, we are not going to limit it to Abuja-Kaduna route alone. Lagos-Ibadan, Itape, Warri, okay? All these are operational already. So what is good for the goods is good for the gander, so that nothing unexpected happens on the other routes. Though we know what happened in the case of Kaduna, Abuja-Kaduna, was a revenge mission by the terrorists. Okay? They took people hostage so that government could release their members in Kuje prison. Okay? That doesn't happen all the time. But any reason could trigger security problems along the road.
Very well said, Mr. Otitoju. I'm impressed with what I've seen, but I'm also concerned. Because at the same time this happened, we also understand that there was an abduction in Katsina State in 2 separate communities. Over 40 people were abducted. So why I'm concerned is because I'm thinking that this could also be a diversionary tactic and when you look at the perspective of the terrorists. Like, oh, there's so much attention and security being deployed in the railways, and then they end up taking advantage of communities that are not as properly guarded as they should be. So I'm just wondering what could be done to probably balance things out. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. Of course, incidents will spring up, but what can be done in the interim?
Yeah, I think our focus now is on the rail. And why? Because, the rail transportation is like a melting pot, bringing people of diverse background and whatever together on a certain route, which is different from pockets of, this thing we have been experiencing right from the day of Boko Haram. So let's focus on the transportation, rail, air, even road. Because these people, at times they attack people along Lagos-Ibadan, as busy as it is. Okay? Then, airport. So, we are not going to centralize this thing on rail alone. Because there are some rail stations that should even be as big as an airport. And the facilities for handling passengers and what have you, more or less the same with that of airport. So when we are talking of the rail, we must as well be talking of airports and bus garages, bus stations, like the big bus stations like you have in Lagos. These big ones that, you have, passenger safety must be taken into consideration. And in transportation, no matter the mode, safety is everything. Safety of passenger, safety of cargo. So it's after safety that we now start talking of elements of speed, comfort, and all other things that differentiate one mode of transport from another. The safety is common. In fact, when we were doing charter of transport exams in those days, they say safety is everything in transport. elucidate. Now you now start arguing and whatever.
Well, as you've rightly pointed out, that this is, of course, a huge strategic national asset, as are other ports of travel. My question is, with all these security measures that have been shared, because I don't expect them to tell us everything that they've done for the sake of course, security, but those that they're able to share with us, do you think that they'll inspire confidence for people to start making use of this rail again? Or, is there more that's going to need to happen to inspire confidence?
You see, attitude to risk differ from people. And again, people must follow their socioeconomic, lives. That there was, terrorist attack doesn't mean that actually we should now be retrieved to our shell and we shouldn't interact. Okay? And no matter your level of interaction, which could even be, explained by a range, what they call it now, approach. That's the range of things you want to do depends on how important and the catchment area of that thing. If you want to buy vegetable, you don't need much transport. You just go next to your door, and you buy. But if you want to buy something like a car, for instance, and you want it at cheaper rate, you may leave places like Ado-Ekiti and come to Lagos, where you have the market, and that's where, and that requires you taking transport and thinking of the best way of getting there and the cost of getting there, So maybe on some next occasions we will discuss the theory,
the cost benefits,
threshold and range.
And
the threshold of a good and the range you would like to travel to get it.
We certainly look forward to that discussion, but thank you so much for your analysis, Mr. Kayode Otitoju, a Rise News analyst.